Welcome back to the channel. Today we got a fun little project involving some plasti-dip and some wheels. On the last video I refurbished the lips on my wheels. I got rid of the clear coat, gave it a machine finish. If you didn't check out that video, look at the previous one. I did buy plasti-dip luxury metal. It's in a black sapphire color. Never used this stuff. I'm going to try it out. I did look at a couple videos, a couple how-tos, tips, tricks to try to get a good finish on it. I also did buy one can of glossifier, which if I'm not happy with the sheen level out of the can, if I want a little extra sheen, I could put a coat of this on and see what it looks like. But first we're going to have to clean the wheels. They only got a real quick and dirty clean last time when I was just doing the lips. So I got my favorite wheel cleaner here. I like the Meguiar's wheel and tire cleaner all in one. This stuff works great. It's pretty cheap too. It's like $6-7 bucks. Alright, first thing, got to get the wheels outside and get them cleaned up. Alright, so we just washed all 4 wheels with cleaner. Thoroughly rinsed off all the cleaner. I let them drip dry for 5-10 minutes. I blew them off with my air compressor and wiped them off with a towel. So now I know that they're perfectly clean and perfectly dry. At this point I kind of was looking at them, and originally I was going to just plasti-dip the whole thing with the polished lip and just later try to peel it. I don't know how the plasti-dip would actually bridge over this gap, because when these wheels were powder coated, they just taped off a line and powder coated them. So there's not a big edge there for the plasti-dip to actually rip on. So I think what I'm going to actually do is tape about 1/4 inch outside of the black area and tape off that lip and the tire. And the valve stem. Everything else is going the satin black. I'm actually going to dip right over the center caps too. I don't care if anything blows in the side of the wheel. That all looks kind of rough in there anyway. So. Alright, so the first one's all done. Do this 3 more times and we're ready to spray. Alright, and if you're wondering what I'm actually using to mask up my wheels, this is just the economy grade auto body masking paper. It's the cheap stuff used normally for priming and things like that. Alright, so we're all taped up. We got all the wheels done. I'm taking one extra precautionary step. Got some wax and grease remover here. I'm going to wipe it on with the one rag, wipe it off with the clean. Alright, so I already have the first 2 cans I'm going to use out in the sun. That's another little tip that I read. You want to make sure the product is warm. I don't think I'm going to have an issue here. It's about 81 degrees right now. So I'm going to get the rest of these wheels wiped up and cleaned, and we'll start spraying. So we got the cans outside warming up in the sun. ready to go. Never sprayed this stuff, so let's do a little sample spot here. I'm going to start with these. These are the front wheels. At least I could start with these and kind of get the learning curve on how this product actually goes on, and then I'll do the more difficult deep dish wheels for the back. I know everybody says start with a light coat. Alright, that's not too bad. Looks like spray paint. I kind of thought it'd be a little bit rubbery. So, we got plenty of ventilation going on. We got some fans blowing outside the garage. And we'll start with the first coat. I think I'm going to go with a medium coat. I'm not going to do a light coat like everybody says. I think that's for people that don't have a lot of experience with spray cans, so they don't run anything. They do a bunch of light coats, but normally you get a little more texture that way. So I'm going to put like a nice medium coat. I know this stuff needs probably 3 or 4 coats. I'm going to see if I can get away with 3 and see how it goes. But I'm going to do the first coat medium, and then possibly 2 more full wet coats. I have the wheels sitting flat. So the only place it can actually run, if it runs, is down and away. So I'm not really too concerned about that. Alright guys, first impressions. You have to be really close if you want to lay this stuff down slick. And there's the first coat. And you can see the spoke I already started is already hazing over. So it is it's pretty warm out and it's drying quick, so you got to get real close, very close, and put it on wet. I don't think I'm going to have any issues with this stuff running at all. It is already drying, and that sheen is actually perfect if it stays like that. It's exactly what I'm looking for. So I'll hit the other wheel. I know it says about maybe 10-15 minutes dry time. We'll see where we're at after 10 minutes. Alright, so we got the first coat on all of the wheels. First impressions. You have to be real close to put it on and make it look wet, to wet it out. Unless it's just very temperature sensitive, I don't know. But it is just over 80 degrees. The can is slightly warmed up, but for me to run this stuff, I would have to try to work at it. I got the can a couple inches away and I'm pounding this stuff on. And this is the very first coat. I'm very happy with the way the sheen on it and the color. I think that'll match the car perfectly. These are the ones I just finished. They are already dyed down in gloss. They're already drying up. They're a little wet. You can see here, like in the creases and things like that. But I'm shocked at how fast this stuff dries and how easy it goes on. You just put it on super wet. Have it look, just wet it out, and this stuff dries down quick. It's tempting to just do maybe 1 or 2 coats of this stuff, but especially black. I'm doing the flat black over a gloss black, so coverage isn't the issue. It's more the film build. You need a good 2 or 3 coats of thick film build if you ever want to remove this stuff easily. I know they make a dissolver that you can spray on it and it dissolves it. I don't want to mess with that. I want to make sure it's thick enough. So we're going to put a second coat on these things. I'm going to try to go even wetter. This stuff's drying so fast. Alright, let's see if I can get it on wetter. I'm going to try to put it on as fast as I can, as wet as I can. Get another coat on this second wheel here. I mean, and I am literally 2 inches away from the wheel. I think when I start the back wheels, I'm going to grab a fresh can because it's starting to, since I have the wheel flat, the can is starting to spit a little bit. There we go, second coat. Alright, here they are. We're all finished with the fourth coat. And I want to say they look awesome. They've been drying about 20 minutes. I'm going to attempt to start taking all the masking off of it. I'm not really sure how it's going to start peeling up. But I'll just be real careful, make sure it doesn't lift. And I did do 4 coats. I wanted to make sure I had enough material on it. I didn't want any issues with peeling it off later. So I did 4 coats. You can see it's starting to stretch there and tear, which we're going to be a little careful with that. Alright, so we got all the wheels done. We're all cleaned up. And here they are. Here's the back ones, and here's the front ones. They're all done. You can check out the finish on them. It's pretty cool. It does have a little bit of a fleck in it, and I'm sure if you put some Sapphire on it, they'd show up a little more, but I kind of like the satin look. And also when I was untaping them, I had to be really careful, like I thought, on this edge here. Because if you see right this high spot, that's where the powder coat ended originally. And these are just dirty. They need a little cleanup again, but you can see on this edge, I went slightly outside of that. I went around actually with an X-Acto knife and just made a nice cut, even all the way around. So when I untaped it, that cut edge, that's where the plasti-dip actually would break. You can see all the way around, it's nice and even. But that was the only concern when I was untaping these things. And if I didn't slice it with the blade, it would have peeled. I know it would have ran all the way up to the edge, and then it would have ran all the way into the dipped part. You can't really screw it up. This is about 4 coats. I only went through about 3 cans. And that's about it. It only took about 2 hours. And the wheels have a totally different look. Alright guys, that's about it. That's going to do it for this video. If you like the channel, subscribe. There's a lot more heavy duty stuff coming up. This is just like a little couple hour little fun project. I wanted to experiment with the plasti-dip, and all in all, I'm very satisfied with the outcome. So stay tuned, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you.